crafty people, hello again. I know it's been a good long while since I posted, but here is a new Flosstube, brand new Flosstube, Thanksgiving edition, because I'm filming this on Thanksgiving, even though you're going to see it on Friday. So happy Thanksgiving to my friends in the US. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, if you're not, then that is totally fine too. To those of you around the rest of the world, happy Friday. I know that Thanksgiving in the US is not nearly as significant or interesting to folks who are not in the US. So if you're not in the US, then I hope you're having a great Friday. Let's see. You may notice in the background here, things are different. This is a different room. This is the craft room. I am finally in the craft room. Wow, y'all. When did I start talking about this on Flosstube? Like, beginning of this year? I've been planning on getting this room reconfigured for probably 2 years. It's been 3 years almost to the day since we lost my mom, and it was maybe a year or so after that I decided I was going to turn this into a craft room. This used to be her bedroom. It formerly, before it was our house, when the original owners owned it, when they first bought it, this was actually the garage. This was the original garage for the house, but they expanded on the house multiple times, so this became some sort of, I think, exercise room for them. There was actually a wall, floor-to-ceiling wall-length mirror on this wall behind me when we moved in, and we removed that because my mom didn't want a mirror in her bedroom, that big a mirror in her bedroom. But yeah, so that was, they reconfigured it to an exercise room. We turned it into Mom's room because this was basically a two-family home when we moved in. Mom lived in this great big room. This was her main room, and then she had a living room that is just outside. So there's a door, not this door that you can see, but there's a door just to my right of it that leads into the kitchen, and then there's a room off the kitchen that I think was a formal dining room back in the day. We turned that into my mother's living room, and then up some stairs there was a second living room that was mine and my husband's, and then we lived, our bedroom is upstairs. So it's a great big house, there's lots of room, and we basically made it into two households and one household. Well, you know, so we have a ton of space now that she is not with us anymore. And I really wanted to do something positive with this room, not only to be able to spend time in here and not be sad, but to kind of turn it into something that, you know, we had shared when she was still here. We both crafted together when I was younger. Probably she is where I got my love of making things, because she was always making stuff when I was younger. She did, I think I've talked about this before, she used to make shellacked bread. It was one of the things that she used to do, because she was huge into Longaberger baskets. Over the years, we collected so many. I have a garage full of Longaberger baskets, and I'm not even exaggerating. And so what she used to do is make these, she used to shellac different kinds of bread to put in the baskets to display them. And we made all kinds of stuff together. She used to sew clothes for me when I was little, and we made regalia together after my mom started investigating our native heritage. As I've spoken about before, we didn't actually manage to prove genetically that we have indigenous heritage, but we both were very connected to the heritage and the stories and the culture in general. When I was younger, I actually used to go to powwows with my mother. That's something that she continued doing throughout the rest of her life. I sort of went my own way, not because I didn't connect with it or because it didn't matter to me, but just because as I got older there just wasn't enough time to do all of the things. But I still have my regalia that I made with her. I still have her regalia that she made with her own two hands. We made moccasins, we made shawls, we made buckskin dresses. My mom also made a couple of cloth dresses to wear with, cloth tops to wear with buckskin skirts. So we did a lot of making of things. So I wanted to turn this into a place where I could make things. And I'm well on the way now. As you can see behind me, I have lots of stuff. And the chaos is a little bit more organized than it was in the other room. All of my little pushing pops, I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to put those. I don't know if they'll be in a place where you can see them for these videos. It's also going to take a while for me to figure out how I'm going to do my filming setup, and I apologize in advance if the lighting is weird, because one, today is a really dreary day. It's cloudy and rainy, and the lighting in here is not the best. I need to get a few extra lamps and things to get some better lighting. Also, that scratching noise you hear in the background, the kitties are still getting used to this room, and so they're not real settled when they're in here. They're like investigating and stalking and running around, and so I decided to shut them out, but they know that I'm in here and they don't like that we're in separate spaces, so they're kind of banging against the door. So, so anyway, this is the craft room, and you can see behind me, oops, directions. So this is my fabric stash. You can only see about half of my fabric stash right here. There's more behind that stack, but this is linen and Lugana right here, and then I've got a big stack of Jobelan behind it that you can't see. And I have, let me see if I can scoot over here. I also have these, actually, let me make weird faces so YouTube can pick that out. So this is these are all Kathy Davidson hand-dyed, dyeing for cross-stitch flosses, this stack here. So I posted on Instagram a photo of my stash, and it's massive. These are just the Kathy flosses. I have other flosses up here in this bin, and then I've got my floss monster. Maybe if I point with this hand, there we go. And I got my floss monster up here. But these project bags, these are all kitted up, ready to go, potential high tea starts. So amongst these are I've got the Twisted Rainbow Sampler that Rachel has already started that uses rainbow dinky dyes. I've been wanting to do that forever, so I finally have that kitted up. I've got the fabric and the floss and the pattern and everything. I've also got my 2 sets of bird stitches from Lindy Stitches with their respective bags. So that's Beach Dance with the boobies, and also Autumn Royalty with the crowned birds, the owl, I can't remember. The birds with the crowns on them from Lindy Stitches. And then, let's see, I could just look back here. What else have I got here? Oh, I've also got Gamer Nouveau is in one of these project bags. And I don't think I've talked about this one, but this is a high tea potential. This is Cardinal Points. Let me take the... Today's going to be rambly, so I apologize in advance. So this is Cardinal Points, which is a collaboration between the Gentle Art and Long Dog Samplers. I saw this originally on Just Keep Stitchin' with Pam and Steph. They talked about this on their Flosstube a couple months ago, and I finally tracked it down. I was able to get it. I have almost all the called for Gentle Arts. The packs are not available anymore, the Gentle Art packs for this chart, but I do have almost all the called for. I think I'm missing 2 or 3 colors. So when I saw it on their Flosstube, I fell in love with it, had to have it. So I got it, and I've got just about everything I need to get started. I need to decide what fabric. Let me see if okay, the focus is going strange. And as you can see, I have this in my my Goldfinch Autumn project bag from Cassie Martinez. So I thought that was really appropriate. So my cardinals are in the Goldfinch bag. So yeah, these are all... So those are all like special starts, not just I want to start those at some point, but special starts. Let me get out of the way here. So yeah, I got really close to the camera. And then down here, I have projects that are already in the works. So these are whips or partial kits and various stuff. I've got more whips down here. And then at the very bottom here, I have hoops and things like that, hoops and frames and stuff like that to start new projects. And then I've got you can't see it down here, but I have my floss buddies. I have more floss, yet more floss. This is mostly fancy DMCs versus hand dyeds and stuff like that. All of my hand dyed and over dyed is all up here, and then I've got my lower quality and my fancy DMCs and stuff like that down here, as well as extra project bags and my box O finishes that need to be FFO'd. So that's all of that stuff there. I also have these are my Owl Forest embroidery kits, and then I've got, these are dinky dyes from the shop. So these are different floss kits and things like that, and or things that I'm collecting to send to customers. So that's what that is. Eventually there's going to be lots of, I'll put some of my FFOs up here or some kind of art or something, so that'll be, there will be things to look at up there. And as you might have noticed behind me here, this is my fancy yarn stash. I have way more yarn than this, and actually I have less fancy yarn than I thought I had, because I've separated it. So this bin down here, this is just knit crate yarn, only knit crate, which is not to say it's not fancy, but it's all from knit crate. And so these are generally not ones that I picked specifically. I may have picked a colorway over another colorway, but these are what knit crate sent me. It's not stuff that I picked out myself. This is all stuff, except for this one skein here that was a gift. These are all colors that I picked out, or yarn clubs that I picked out specifically. So this is all my fancy stuff, with the exception of this, just because this is actually a knit crate. But this is a super fancy knit crate. This is, I was only able to get one skein of this, and this is Blood Moon in sugared sock yarn. So that's really, really pretty. So for some reason, I threw it up on top of there. It actually belongs down here. But it's extra fancy, so. But yeah, so these are all my super fancy yarns. And these are all the minis. Look at that, y'all. That's a lot of minis, and that's not including the Advent minis that are coming. So this in the front here, this is the Ruby and Roses Advent. So this is a 24-day Advent that does not come with a pattern. This is just the 24 mini skeins of yarn. And then in the back there you can see, you might not be able to read it, but that is my White Elephant from Forbidden Fiber Co. So that's the White Elephant Advent that does have a mystery knit-along pattern with it. So that's super exciting. Those start next week. Can you believe next week is December already? December 1st is next week. So yeah, so that yarn is coming, but I already have all these minis. All the minis. So. And last but not least, directions. Over my shoulder here are more Advents. These are cross-stitch specific Advents. So this up here, this is the Crowned Winter Advent Calendar from Forbidden Fiber Co., but it is cross-stitch, not yarn. So this is not for knitting or crocheting, this is all cross-stitch goodies. These envelopes back here are a mystery pattern that you can stitch on during the month. It's designed so that you have 2 days to stitch each part of the pattern. And then in between, you get to open up one of these other gifts. So I'm going to assume that this is the fabric. Because if number 1 is not the fabric, I don't know how you're stitching it. But so yeah, that's Forbidden Fiber Co. Crowned Winter. And then this box up here is the Nice List from the Black Needle Society. So this is the 25-day, 24-day full Advent box that I managed to get into by sheer luck. So that was super awesome. I'm going to leave it in the box just because it is so intricately packed. There's so much stuff in there. I couldn't even, after counting all the pieces, I had trouble getting them back in the box. To make sure that they had a place to live before I opened them. The other really cool thing about this is, and I'll talk about it more when it comes time to open these, this time, instead of the little sheet that has all of the information, all the spoilers basically for all the different gifts, they have a scratch-off sheet. So you can just scratch off each day as you go so you don't get spoiled by the next day. So that's really awesome. I'm super excited about that. So again, these all start on December 1st. So I will have, and I'm still waiting on my box, the Winter Lodge from Rebel Woolworks. It should be on the way. I believe it is on the way. It just hasn't arrived yet. So I will have 5 different things for the first 12 days to open, and then from days 13 through 24, I will have 4 different things to open. So Flossmas is going to be lots of opening things. That's what Flossmas is going to be. I am going to try really, really hard to film every day for Flossmas. We'll see how that goes. A lot will depend on how busy work gets. Traditionally, this time of year, things slow down a lot. But this is not a typical year for so many reasons. And especially with everybody working from home, it's entirely possible that the workflow will continue just like it has been, as opposed to slowing down like it normally does for the holidays. But we'll see. We'll see. I would love it if things work out like they usually do, and stuff just kind of stops around the middle of the month. And I get to catch up on a few things and catch my breath, and then, and then we start the new year. So we'll see how that goes. So, 16 minutes in, let's talk about why I haven't posted in a while. So, life update. I really feel like the month has just disappeared. It was just 24 hours of cross-stitch weekend, and then I blinked, and now it's Thanksgiving, and it's crazy. So everything was great. For 24 hours of cross-stitch weekend, I stitched 19 hours on this piece right here. So I'll show you that more up close here shortly. But I got 19 hours in. I did about 6.5 on a model stitch that I can't show you. And then the rest of the time I spent on that piece right there, which was really nice. I spent a lot of time Zooming with Rachel and Heiko, which was really fun. Over the course of the weekend, my face started to hurt, so that I don't remember how much I've discussed here, but since June, I've had this recurrent pain in my jaw area here, sometimes down into the bottom jaw as well as in my temple, but basically like the side of my face, and it would be intermittent, but it would be excruciating at times, to the point where I couldn't think, I couldn't function, and it was really, really awful. And I thought twice, I thought that it was due to a sinus infection. So I went to my regular GP twice and got antibiotics twice, and that helped a lot. It didn't end the pain completely, but I would go for a while and I wouldn't have any pain. And so I really thought that it was sinus, especially because sometimes it felt like it really was like right along here, but I was having all this pain on the side of my head and everything. And then the weekend of 24 hours of cross stitch, that pain came back, and I didn't have any sinus anything. Like, there was nothing going on with my sinuses. I didn't have a stuffy nose, my sinuses weren't dry. There was literally nothing to indicate that it was a sinus infection. And so ultimately, I'm still waiting to talk to a periodontist, and I was afraid to go back to the regular dentist and have anything done because I'm still waiting on a consultation with the periodontist, and I didn't want to set all of that in motion. But the pain got so bad, that my husband Adam made me call the dentist. And so I went in, and they basically told me, I'm assuming I had an infection in a particular tooth, one of my molars. They didn't say specifically, but they basically told me that they couldn't save the tooth, and was I okay with having them pull it. And pretty much at that point, even though I didn't understand that the pain was specifically coming from that tooth, I was like, if taking that tooth out is going to make me feel better, then yes, please do it. So they pulled the tooth. This was, I think, the Thursday after 24 hours of cross-stitch weekend. They pulled the tooth, and I have not had that pain since. So evidently, I had an infection in that tooth, and it was causing some major nerve pain, pain like I have never experienced in my life. And I have had some pretty severe migraines. I thought this was migraine. I thought it was sinus infection and migraine since June, y'all. Since June, I have been having this pain, and it seems to be that it was that one tooth that kept getting infected and kept causing that pain. So fingers crossed that particular pain is done and over with, and I don't have to deal with it anymore. The extraction site seems to be healing up well. I'm feeling a lot better overall. So I'm having more energy and stuff now. I don't feel as run down. I'm not in pain randomly. So all of this is of the good. I still have my appointment with the periodontist because I still have a lot of issues. My teeth are really bad. For a lot of different reasons, at least some of which are actually genetic. Because I know my dad lost basically all of his front teeth when he was in his 40s or 50s, maybe even earlier than that. By the time he was in his late 50s, early 60s, he had dentures. So he lost all of his teeth. My mom's teeth were not in great shape, but she didn't have to have any pulled or anything like that. Her teeth were primarily, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but she had issues mostly because she'd been a smoker most or all of her life, so they were discolored, but they were in decent shape. So anyway, I have lots of dental issues, so I imagine there are more extractions to come, along with probably lots of unpleasant dental things that I'm not really looking forward to. But having now had a tooth extracted and gone through the healing process, I feel significantly less terrified of that part. So we'll see how it goes. Also, based on everything I experienced with that particular tooth, I'm hopeful that the rest of my teeth are not as bad. So we'll see. But yeah, so that took up, it was at least a week of excruciating pain, and then probably a week and a half to 2 weeks of recovering from it, which was more emotional recovery than physical recovery, if that makes any sense. I don't know exactly what emotionally happened. I think part of it was just this feeling like I had no control. Yeah, so it was a little weird. It took me a little while, but I feel like I'm back on my feet. And then once that was done, I actually finally got around to moving things here into the craft room. So that has been the last week and a half or something like that, where I've been slowly bringing things in here, building the shelves behind me, loading them up. Most of my craft stuff that I have had, in our front room is now in here. There's still a fair amount of craft stuff that needs to come in here, but I need a place to store it. This room is really large. At some point I will actually do like a full 360 tour. I'm not ready to do that yet because I have a lot of crap in here that needs to go somewhere. So it's really large, but I'm struggling with how to arrange things in a way that makes sense and doesn't make it feel crowded and that kind of stuff. I actually have like a chair and ottoman over here, so theoretically at some point I'll be able to like relax and craft in here. I'm going to put my desk and computers, my work laptop and my personal laptop, and hopefully 2 monitors. I'm hoping to get that for Black Friday sales, in the corner behind where I'm filming right now. So that will be where the business area is, the work area, along with all my mailing supplies and printers and all that sort of stuff for doing work and also Etsy work. So all of that will go over there. And then it's just a matter of where do I store the rest of it. I do have a second table. I've got this table right here that you can see, this one, which will be my work table. So my hope is, we'll see how this works. My hope is that this will be the space where I'm working actively on something, and when I'm done working on that, I will put it away and this table will stay clear when I'm not actively working on it. So this is not a table to store things, it's not a table to leave crap laying around. This is my active working table. So if I'm diamond painting today, I'll bring out a diamond painting and then I'll put it away. And then if I'm cross stitching, I'll bring out the cross stitch and then I'll put it away, and so on and so forth. Though I may like leave this out here just because it's not taking up that much space and it's kind of nice to look at. But yeah, so this will be my work table. Then I'll have the actual computer desk and everything. I've got another small table that I hope to turn into a sewing table. It's just a matter of where do I put that. The whole back wall here is actually window. That's where the original garage door was. And the former owners, original owners, had turned those into French doors, which my husband and I replaced last year with giant picture windows because it was less expensive than replacing the French doors. So it's really nice. There's lots of natural light that comes in, but it is completely open to the neighborhood. So On a bright sunny day, not a big deal. You can't see straight into the window. On a dull day like today or at nighttime, you can see straight in. So that'll be a thing. There's curtains, so that's not a problem. But yeah, so that's a thing to work around. But yeah, I already have, I have a curio cabinet that my mom had that I've already filled with my diamond painting stuff, so that's nice and tidy and put away. I've got my cross stitching and my knitting stuff behind me, nice and tidy and nice to look at. It looks a little jumbled. You know, I'm not gonna lie, some of that is kind of like, it's a little frustrating because it does look cluttered, but it's pretty cluttered, so I guess it's okay. I think I'll learn to live with it. On this side of the room, I actually have a hope chest that my mom had that I'm trying to decide what exactly I'm going to do with it. Maybe it'll be storage for blankets, maybe it'll be storage for whips, I'm not really sure, but I've got that to deal with. And there actually is a closet here that if I empty out my mom's stuff, will be a great place to store extra supplies like non-fancy yarn, like acrylic yarns and things like that. So, and through there's a second door over here. That's a laundry room. It's like a whole, there's a bathroom and a laundry room attached to this room with a separate door. And I'm thinking, again, once I get my mom's stuff handled in that area, I'm thinking that could actually be a staging area for shipping and business stuff. So as I grow the business, I think that would be a great place to store stock items as well as have an actual space to set up orders and put packaging together and all that sort of stuff. So that's far in the future. We're not there yet. We're far from there, but that's kind of what I'm thinking in the future, because I am thinking that at some point I'm going to need more space for stock items. Right now, most of the stock that I have for the Etsy shop actually fits in like one file drawer, a file drawer and a couple of small plastic boxes. Because it's all patterns and relatively small stuff. Actually, it takes up more space than that because of the needle minders. Anyway, it's not taking up a ton of space right now, but I could see that when I really get my legs up under me, I think it's going to grow and I'm going to need a lot more space. So that'll be something I'm working towards. So, anyway, shall we talk about cross stitching? That's been life. So some not good stuff. The dental stuff was really not fun. I'm feeling so much better though, and so there has been a lot of positive stuff going on too. But it took a while to get there. But that's where my November has been. So I've done almost no stitching. The only stitching I did. Now we'll get to some cross stitching. So this was literally the only stitching I've done in November, other than the model stitch that I can't show you if I can get this to fit. There we go. So this is a Barbara Anna Designs. This is the key. The key. The Goose in a Dress Style. Hashtag Goose in a Dress Style. And as you can see, I have the dress complete. The dress is completely finished. We've got the shoes, we've got the skirt, even the sleeves. So now I just need to stitch the goose and then the framing ivy that goes behind the goose. And then we're done. So I got a lot of really good progress on this. I did, I guess, about 13 hours, 12 and a half hours of stitching on this for 24 hours of cross stitch. I just haven't, with everything that's been going on, I just haven't had a stitchy bug. I've done some knitting, but I haven't done any stitching. Hoping to change that very soon. If with any luck, I'll have some time to stitch today. And if I do have some time to stitch today, I'm going to work on, I think I'm going to work on that piece that I'm doing for my mom, which is Someone We Love. You can see that. Because Thanksgiving was pretty much my favorite holiday, and part of that was because I always spent it with Mom in the kitchen, getting things ready for dinner. So, Thanksgiving always makes me think of Mom. So it's one of the reasons that I love it. It's one of the reasons that it's hard for me. But yeah. So if I do any stitching today, I think that's what I'll work on. But it's almost noon now, and my brother is coming over around 2. So I might not get any stitching done, because once he gets here, I'll start cooking, or go back to cooking, I should say. Yeah. So that being said, let's get let's get into some stuff. I'm not going to go into what I've been listening to. Well, okay, very briefly, what I've been listening to. I finally finished Slouching Towards Bethlehem. I will say that finishing up wasn't as exciting as starting the book on audio. It's by Joan Didion. The last couple of stories just didn't hit me. So overall, I'd probably give it a 4 or so, just because the first part was really interesting, the second part, but it took months. I mean, I started listening to that when I was still going to work at the office, so it's been 8 months or something. When I finished that, I started a Samantha Irby book called We Are Never Meeting in Real Life. And I will say that I'm getting more into it. It's a book of essays written by Samantha Irby, who is a bit of a, she's not a comedian, but she's sort of a sassy, funny prose essayist. I'm not exactly sure what her whole history is. I know that the book was recommended by the bloggess Jenny Lawson, it was part of her Fantastic Strangelings book club recommendation, so that's why I'm listening to it. And I like the stories or the essays so far, but I will say that sad as I am to say it, Samantha Irby reading her own work is not my most favorite narrator ever. And it always makes me sad when I listen to an author narrate their own work and I don't love it, because I want to love people reading their own work. But I think it comes down to some people are great storytellers, some people are great at great readers, and other people aren't. And it just comes down to we all have our own strengths, and Samantha Irby's strength is the writing, not the reading of the work. It just is what it is. But yeah, so Samantha Irby, We Are Never Meeting in Real Life. That's what I'm listening to right now. I'm probably actually, once I get back into audio books, I'm actually probably going to get back into the Brandon Sanderson books, the Stormlight Archives, because the 4th book just was released. The 4th book was released last week or something like that, and I love those books. They're about 40 hours each, so it's going to take a while. But I want to re-listen to the first 3 and then listen to the 4th one, because I'm that person. Also, what I've been watching, I finally finished my rewatch of Buffy. Very, very briefly, I realized that probably part of the reason I wasn't connecting with it the first 3 seasons or so, and maybe I already talked about this, I can't remember, but maybe the reason I wasn't connecting is because I was watching the remastered version, which is significantly different than the original. So if you watch it on Hulu, if you watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Hulu, you're getting basically the original version that's just been stretched out to 16:9 proportions to fit your widescreen TV. So that's the good version to watch. If you watch it on Prime, Amazon Prime, you're getting the remastered HD version, which you should not watch. Not only have they not taken the time to pay attention to the cropping and the zooming and things like that, they've actually failed to add back in different light filters and light effects that were put in the original series. And this is not just subtle little things, we're talking about the entire feel of the show. So you know how Buffy is traditionally kind of dark, like throughout. They've completely done away with that, so everything is super bright, and they've reduced the noise reduction, which is that kind of fuzzy graininess you get from stuff that wasn't filmed in HD, to the point where things look plastic. So don't watch it on Amazon Prime. When I switched over to Hulu, I finally started reconnecting in the way that I had expected to. Even so, season 7 sucks. Sorry, Joss. It just did. And yeah. So, but I finally got through it. I will say I used to be a hardcore Buffy Spike fan, like hardcore. And I'm disappointed as an adult to go back and watch it and realize that the part of their relationship that I still love the most is probably the most abusive and awful part of their relationship. I don't know what that says about me. When they finally start to be honest with each other and are both in better places, it's significantly less interesting for their relationship. Just FYI. So now I think I'm going to watch Angel. Anyway, okay, let's get into stuff. Let's talk about some Happy Mail. I have some Happy Mail and I have some Friend Mail, which is super awesome. So let's talk Happy Mail first. I have this month's Teal Teacup Patreon stuffies. So first we have the sticker, which is super cute. So it's a hot cocoa mug with marshmallows. Super cute. She does these kawaii. Everything is like kawaii stuff, so it's super cute. And then we have the matching enamel pin. So super cute. Now, if I remember correctly, for this month's pins, she did both red mugs and teal mugs. And based on your level, you just got a random selection of the red or the teal. So obviously I got the red, but some people got the teal that matches the sticker. So that's this month's Teal Teacup. Super cute. I also have this month's Zenspire Design stickers. And honestly, y'all, I talk about this every month, but I really am thinking about dropping my Patreon subscription for Zenspire Designs. Not because these stickers aren't fantastic, but just I think my money needs to go elsewhere. So this is cute. All good things are wild and free. I mean, I love her artwork, but I'm just like, what am I going to do with all these stickers? I might start giving them away, maybe. We'll see. And this is an acorn. Super cute. And then this one is all holographic. It's just like an evil eye kind of situation. So those are my Zenspire Design stickers. And I also have this month's latest Kate. And these are really nice. I already looked at these. So she has started sending 2 5x7s and a magnet. Let's see if I can get this open. And I have a laminator. At some point I need to laminate these and hang up my favorites. So here is this month's magnet. Not every season is for growing. Maybe right now is your time to be dormant. Step back and rest for a while. It's really good. I love this. This is an autumn dragon. Super cool. I need to stick that. I just realized, I don't know why I just realized, I can stick those on my fridge. Dope. Okay. Okay, this is, so I started saying good enough is good enough at the end of my videos, and this was the inspiration for that. So she did this artwork of a raven, and it says, it's okay to just muddle through right now. Good enough is in fact good enough. And those were powerful words for me. I know Rachel has talked about this, Rachel Ray. She's a perfectionist, I'm a perfectionist, and for people like us, it's not the same as OCD. It's why I don't throw out the phrase OCD casually, because OCD is a very serious condition based on compulsions that you have no control over, and perfectionism sometimes seems similar, but there is some amount of control. But it's still really damaging because when you have this perfectionist mindset, it's more than just being type A. It's more than just wanting things to be good and to have quality work and stuff like that. It's almost a compulsion where if something isn't perfect, you can't stand it. It's you need perfection in everything that you do so much that you beat yourself up when things aren't to your standards. When things don't reach that level of perfection, then you feel like there's something wrong with you. It's something very deep, and it's more than just I want to do a good job. I want things to be done well. It's more than that, but it is less than OCD. It's not the same as OCD. If I don't get something perfect, I don't have these issues where I have to continue doing it until it is perfect. I just beat myself up about it and have guilt and awful stuff, and you know, it's a different kind of situation. If you experience OCD or if you experience perfectionism or something, you know, I would love to hear your experience of that in the comments, especially if you feel like I'm misrepresenting something, because the last thing I want to do is act like I know everything about something when I don't. So, but that's my experience of perfectionism, is it can be really damaging because it's more than just I want to do a great job. It's I'm not a good person if I can't do things perfectly. And so this was hugely powerful for me. This idea that good enough is fine. That it's okay to just do good enough. You don't have to make everything perfect. So this one has to go up somewhere. And then the other one, let's see. Oops. Things will keep changing. You won't be stuck with these problems forever. And that's pretty good for this year, because I know a lot of us are feeling quarantine fatigue and pandemic fatigue, and it's hard to feel like there's an end to it. And even if we can't see the end in sight, the end is coming. There will be an end to it. Things may never be exactly the same as they were before, but things will get better than this. It's just how it is. We just have to keep pushing until we get there. So, okay, so that's my latest Kate. I'll keep out this magnet so I can actually put it on something later. So that is all my Patreon Happy Mail. Yeah, that's all the Patreon Happy Mail. Now let me talk to you about a couple of things that I got from friends recently. So, I don't know why I insist on putting all of this stuff back while I'm on camera. It's just a thing. I need things to be neat and tidy. Let me just get these out of the way. Okay. So, some of you may know Cal of Cal's Crafts. She's a fantastic lady. If you have not checked out her channel, you should check out her channel because she's awesome. I met her through Rachel Ray about a year ago, or as a result of Stiach. So Rachel and I and a few others, including Heike, put together this group called Sips and Stitches, this team for Stiach, to do a Stiach along last year. And, excuse me, I got introduced to Cal that way because Rachel introduced us, asked if Cal could join a group. I was like, absolutely. Because we were, I think, only 5 or 6 people, and we wanted more folks. Cal joined, and she was really timid because she hadn't stitched a whole lot, but it was like, it's okay. We're all here for stitching. It doesn't matter whether you're new or old or good or bad or anything. So it was really awesome, and to see her working on things and getting more confidence in cross-stitching has been fantastic, and she's become a really great influence on my regular life. So I got a package in the mail from Cal, and I wasn't expecting anything, especially because she lives over in the UK. She lives in Wales, I think. And so for her to send me something is pretty fantastic to begin with. And I opened it. Let me take a sip of coffee. And y'all, it's the sweetest thing. It's the sweetest thing. So she makes these bags. She calls them Winky Wonky bags. And they're so cute. And this fabric is amazing. Look at these little unicorns. How gorgeous. And it's got sparkles, and they're just so cute. So, and not only was there this bag, so this bag is fantastic, I love it. There's a matching little Notions bag that has the unicorns on it. Look at that. That unicorn is so cute. I can't get over it. This fabric is fantastic. So, and she sent me this gorgeous needle minder. Let me show you. So, and she sent a little note too that I'm gonna keep that to myself because otherwise I might cry. But but look at this. How gorgeous is that? It's so pretty. And there's this like crocheted doily on this little card. It's so pretty. And then this beautiful like cabochon needle minder. Really, really pretty. So, and she just thanked me for, you know, what I'm doing on my channel and always answering her comments and stuff like that, which, of course, I answer Cal's comments because she's such a breath of fresh air, and she's such a little ray of sunshine in my day. I love it when, it's honestly one of the reasons that I keep doing Knitcast is because I know Cal watches it. I know Cal watches it, and then she comments, and I just love it because she comments on every single video. And it's just so sweet, and it means so much to me for her to always be watching my videos, but then for her to decide to send me these gorgeous bags as a thank you was just, yeah, I'm getting teary. So thank you, Cal. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate that you appreciate me, and thank you so much for this kind and generous gift. I think I'm going to put, I have that pattern, I've talked about it before. It's a cat that's done by the same cross-stitch designer, Little Room in the Attic, that did Yokacorns, and it's called I Don't Believe in Humans, and it's like a unicorn cat, a catacorn, and I think this is the perfect project bag for that, so I'm really excited. I have a reason to get that kitted up now, because I'm going to use this bag for it, so that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Cal. You mean a lot to me too, so thank you. So that was really fantastic. And a very special surprise gift. I appreciated that. And this is from another cross-stitcher friend who I know through Brandy of Bestitch Me. This was made for me by a lady named Deborah. And she was making all these project bags, and I think she had extra of this fabric, and so she's like, would you like one? And I was like, yes, please. So she made this all herself. If Beth is watching, Beth knows who I'm talking about, because Beth got one too, and Brandy. But yeah, this bag is so cute, and it's huge. It's big enough to fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap, so that's fantastic. And she's done that. She put this gingham fabric inside. It's really, really nice. And more than that, she made this zipper pull too. So this is a Kumihimo cord that she's put some beads on. It's really, really cool. Really, really nice. And she made a matching grime guard. So that was really sweet. I really appreciate that. So I have had folks asking if they can send me stuff. At the moment, I'm gonna take those on a case-by-case basis. I don't have a P.O. box, so I'm not going to just blanketly say, yes, please send me stuff if you want to. Not that anybody ever needs to send me stuff. Please understand, I am not in any way, shape, or form asking people to send me things. These are folks that I know outside of Flosstube, who I've been friends with for a while now, so you know, they have my address because they do. But you know, I'm happy if you want to send me something. Please understand you don't need to, but you can certainly contact me at my email address down below. I'll be happy to respond to that on a case-by-case basis. For privacy reasons, I don't want to just give out my address, and P.O. boxes are more expensive than you'd think. So that is that. Let's see, what else? I could talk about plans, but I have no idea what my plans are. I really don't, cross-stitching wise, other than opening up all of this stuff. I have no idea what December is going to bring. I'm afraid to schedule anything. I'm afraid to plan anything. Yeah, so I probably will do the mystery cross-stitch pattern that is in the winter, crowned winter thing. I probably will start that and keep up with that. I have my model stitch to work on, and there will be at least one new start in December, because Rachel and Heike and I will be doing a stitch along for Fox View. We were supposed to start that on November 11th, but that was when I had my tooth pulled, or right before. That was right before I had my tooth pulled. So yeah, I was not in a place where I could do any stitching. And then we were going to start this week, but that hasn't worked out either. So probably sometime in December we will do Fox View. I would like to also. I don't think I'm going to do a high tea for December because I haven't finished anything, but I may actually start Pandemic during December. That was going to be a high tea start, but at this point it's more a thing of I want to start it in 2020. I certainly won't finish it anywhere close to 2020, but because the pandemic has been a 2020 thing and the pattern is pandemic, I do want to start it this year, just so I can say I started it in 2020, but we'll see. I do have it all kitted up. I've got it all together. It's ready to go. I have the fabric, I have the floss, I have the pattern, I have all the stuff. I just need to actually sit down to do it. So that's that. So that may come sometime in December. I think January 1, I will have a high tea, whether I finish anything or not. I'm going to have a high tea in January on the 1st, because January 1st, 2021 is going to be the beginning of Gamer Nouveau. You can't actually see the pattern. But, okay. Go me with the planning. See, I'm not going to take the whole thing out of here. The babies are fussing. Can you hear them screaming outside the door? Okay. So this is part of the image for Gamer Nouveau. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Focus. There we go. Sort of. You get the idea. Anyway, so I thought about starting it in November and also in December, and then I ultimately decided, this is going to be a multi-year piece most likely. So I really liked the idea of starting it fresh on the first day of the new year. I felt like that was like the meaningful thing for me. So this will be my high tea start on January 1st. I have the fabric, I have the floss, I have the pattern, so I just need to actually put it on a frame. For the longest time I was like, I don't want to start it until I have a scroll frame, blah, 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 blah. But this is going to take forever, so I can put it on an 11 by 11 Q-snap, and then at some point when I get a scroll frame, I can put it on a scroll frame where it can live. But yeah, there's no harm in starting it on a Q-snap, because it's going to take me a while to fill up that Q-snap, let me tell you. So, January 1st. That's the one really solid plan that I have. I would like to do something new on December 1st, but December 1st is next week. So unless it's Foxview, probably no new start on December 1st. So yeah, those are plans. Those are my non-plans, because like I said, I'm afraid to make any plans. We'll see how it goes. So with that, let's talk about purchases. So I can't remember anymore what I've talked about, what I haven't talked about, but I found the perfect needle minder for beach dance. Look at this guy. Look at that booby. How cute is he? So this is from a shop on Etsy from the UK called Mind Your Own Stitches. It did take a while to get to me because shipping from the UK is difficult right now. Not for the sellers, not for any fault of the sellers, it's just shipping sucks right now. But this was the one and only really cute booby needle minder that I could find, so I had to get it. It was like $6.66 US, and it is the cutest needle minder ever. So, and it's perfect, it's super perfect to go with my boobies for beach dance. So, and this is my booby bag. So look at that, look, it's so good, yeah. So I'm super happy about this. Took me a while to get it, but I have it finally. So now my booby bag project is complete, it's all ready to go. I have picked out the fabric, which I think I did in a previous Flosstube. So this is a piece of linen, not another sampler, is the colorway. And this is from Brandy at Bestitch Me, which I thought was perfect because it looks like sand, it looks like the beach. Perfect for beach dance. So, oops. I just destroyed my my zipper pull. I'll have to get my pliers and fix that. I pulled a little too hard and the little loop came apart. There we go. Okay, must be gentler on my stuff. So anyway, don't pull on the zipper pull, pull on the actual zipper, FYI, because you'll mess up your zipper pulls. Anyway, so Beach Dance is officially completely ready to go. It has all the things. I may need some plain old DMC or something to go with it too, but this will probably happen sometime next year. I'm thinking I might do, depending on how I'm feeling, and depending on whether plans happen or not, February might be February. So February February might be for the birds. We'll have to see. A couple of folks gave me the idea of either January or February. But yeah, so January I think is, I don't think I can do it in January, but February might be the month of the birds. So I would start this, definitely, most likely at least one of the autumn royalty patterns, and I've got the damn bird sal that I want to do, as well as some other swan related patterns. So yeah, that might be, February might be the month of all the bird starts. We'll have to see. I would like to get some things finished before I do a whole bunch of new starts, so we'll see how it goes. Yep, okay, so that's that. Wee, did you see that? I also got my, I just got my October floss of the month from Color and Cotton. They're running a bit behind, as you can imagine, because I literally just got this last week and it's October's pack, and it's almost the end of November, so, but, you know, I don't give anybody a hard time for stuff taking too long these days, because everything is just harder than it was. Sourcing everything is nearly impossible. So, I get the 3 primitive colors, and these are really nice this month. It's been a lot of like just browns or blacks. It's nice to get some primitive colors that are not brown and black. So this is kind of a taupey color called Quail, which is pretty nice. I like that. But we've also got these 2 Christmassy colors. So this is Pine Tree. It's coming off a little more yellow-brown in the light, but it's actually a bit greener. Working out the lighting here is going to be really difficult. And then this is, what color is this? This is Old Santa, which is pretty aptly named. So it's a really nice prim sort of gray-red almost. Not quite brick. Really nice. I like those this month. And then I also get 5 brights, and the brights are usually my favorites. And the colors this month are really, really nice. They're really, really nice every month, honestly. So here are all the colors. We've got Salmon, which is a nice light pink. And we've got Calliope, which is a nice pink and light aqua kind of color. Really pretty. I can't get it, but focus. Focus. There we go. Sort of. Enchanted, which is really nice. Yeah, the colors are not coming off very true. I've got this yellow light overhead that's kind of changing the colors. This is really nice. This is called Wild Berry. Just sort of a fuchsia color with some darker purple. Really nice. And last but not least, Galactic. I like this a lot. Like dark purple and blues, bright blue. Leaning towards teal a little bit, but really bright blue with some purple, so those are nice. Very happy with those, as always. I also got my Brandy Fabric of the Month. So these are November's Fabric of the Month. It should be late enough now that everybody has their Fabric of the Month. If you don't have your Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month, close your eyes now. If you don't want to be spoiled. Pardon me crinkling. So I get her neutral in linen. So this is a 32 count linen, and the colorway is called Peanut. I'm going to try to see if I can get the color for you. It's going to be really difficult. So this is, it's a slightly peachy color. So it's sort of a top with a warm peachy undertone, maybe. I'm trying to think of how to describe this color. But yeah, it's got a warmth to it. It's not quite brown. But yeah. Oh my gosh, my babies are going crazy. Okay, give me just a second because Momo is crying. Hold on. Okay, apparently I could not get through an entire floss tube without Momo going crazy. She was crying on the other side of the door. I don't know if you could hear her, but I could hear her. It was awful. So, the kitties are in the room. No telling what will happen now. So yeah, that was Brandy's neutral colorway for the month. And then I get her standard club, which is mostly colorful stuff, sometimes neutral stuff. And I get this on 32 count Jovelin. And again, apologies for the crinkling. So this colorway is Guardian, and this is a really nice colorway. I like this a lot. So this looks almost like a light buckskin kind of color on camera. It's a warm, like an Irish butter yellow. So not like an American butter yellow, but a European, especially an Irish butter. Irish butter is extra yellow because of all the keratin the cows get from the grass, just FYI. So yeah, this is more like a Kerrygold Irish butter yellow. But yeah, it's a really gorgeous color. I like this a lot. I have no idea, to be perfectly honest, what I will stitch on this. I might see if the Autumn Royalty colors will look good on this, because this could be a nice autumnal color. But I'll have to do a floss toss and see. It's maybe a little too yellow for that, but maybe not. We'll just have to see. But it is a gorgeous colorway. I like it. It's really washing out. I have no idea when I will figure out my lighting situation. If y'all have been here for a while, you know that the lighting is hard for me anyway. And now I have these windows to play with, and the sun keeps coming out from behind clouds, so now it's like, but yeah. And last but not least, in my purchases, so yeah, I'm going to talk about these, and then I'm going to let you go. Brandy at Stitch Me did a Halloween box last month, and I didn't get in on the full Halloween box. Rachel did. She should be receiving that soon if she hasn't already gotten that as part of her big package from me. But I was able to get the fabrics and the specialty floss that came in the box. I was super excited. So let me crinkle for just a second. I'll show you the flosses. Brandy dyed some silks specifically for the Halloween box. If you haven't opened your Halloween box, first of all, why? But if you haven't opened it, you might want to skip through this part so you don't get spoiled. So these are some specialty silks that she dyed specifically for this box. And I did not realize that I was going to get these with the fabric, so I was super excited. These are gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Pardon me. So first we have Blood Moon. Excuse me. I've opened the fabric, so apparently now I'm going to get allergic to my fabric, so that's really nice. A nice deep red, though it's blowing out a little bit. And this is Brew, which is somewhere between a fluorescent yellow and a fluorescent green. And now the kitties are in the window, making noise in the window. How you doing, Luna? What's up? This is All Lit Up, which is a nice bright yellow orange. Yeah, the colors are going to be awful now because the sun is just like boom. So I will show these to you quickly and then we'll move on because this is Pumpkin. It's a deeper orange. Very nice. And then we've got Witchy. This is my favorite. It's a gorgeous deep purple, and because it's on the silk, it's nice and shiny and lustrous. I love it. Gorgeous. That's probably my favorite color in the whole pack. And then this is Cauldron. Look how deep that black is, y'all. That is a seriously deep black. That's nice. I like that. Okay, so those are the specialty flosses that came in the box. Now let me show you all the fabrics. original box came with 4 fabrics, and then I got an extra headless horseman, I think. I'm trying to remember because I bought these a la carte, so I don't remember exactly what came in the box and what I got separate. These are all 32 count Jovelin because y'all know me and Jovelin. This is Banshee, which is a gorgeous gray. This is fantastic. Look at that. Love it. I can't wait till it's so funny because I'm always like, I don't know what I'm going to put on this. But what's going to be awesome is when I find the right project for it, and it'll be like, oh, I have that fabric. I know that's just the right, because that's what happens is sometimes I'll be going through my stash and I'll be like, this is exactly the fabric I need for X project. Sometimes I look at a project and I go, I'm not sure what fabric I need, and then I go through my stash and I'm like, there it is. There it is. That fabric. That's what I need. So, I don't know yet what I'm going to use these fabrics for, but one day, the perfect project will come along. This is Brandy's Witch's Brew. If you've been a shopper at Mystic Fabric, she has a Witch's Brew as well. Wow, you're not going to be able to see this color at all. This is a very pale green. Which is not at all coming off on camera. Yeah, so this is not at all like Mystic Fabrics Witch's Brew. Hers is a mixture of like gray and orange. This is actually like a lime sherbet. Yeah. It's like a pale lime kind of color. It's gorgeous. Unfortunately, because the sun has decided to come out, you can't tell. So, I apologize for that. It is gorgeous, take my word for it. Wow, the sun is just like, sun's like boom, boom, y'all. And now I understand Rachel's struggles. I understand them in a whole new way. Okay, so that's Witch's Brew. This one is Poison Apple, which I really, really like. Yeah. So this is sort of a mixture of lavender and kind of a blue-green color, more green than blue. And it's not reading correctly at all. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go quickly through the rest of these because sadly, the light has just totally foiled me at this point. These are gorgeous colors, whether they look like it on camera or not. This is called Headless Horseman, which is similar to, but subtly different from, Poison Apple. So instead of having green mixed in, this is sort of black and lavender, and it's got a little bit more red to the purple that's in it. And that's reading a little bit better on camera. That's coming off a little bit better. It's a really nice color. I like how subtle this is. So that's coming off very well. So it's more primarily like a dark gray, but then it's got these subtle bits of a pinky kind of lavender in there, which are really nice. And last but not least, this is Raven, which again is similar to but different from. So this, where Headless Horseman has that sort of reddish lavender, this has a much paler, bluer lavender in it. So we've got the gray, which is a little bit of a warmer gray. None of this is going to read the way I'm talking about it, but it's got a bluer lavender to it and a warmer gray. So even though they have very similar colors in them, they're actually very different fabrics. It's really nice. Very excited to figure out what I'm going to use these fabrics for. And yeah, so they'll get added to the fabric pile to the side over here. But yeah, I have to rethink how I have my fabric stored here, because this is not easy to add to. Okay, y'all. Well, that's all I can think of right now. I talked about 24 hours of cross stitch. The next one won't happen until next year. 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. I'm starting to think that maybe I shouldn't do 24 hours of cross stitch weekend as a thing, because it seems to me that something wonky happens right after 24 hours of cross stitch every single time. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or what, but yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, I don't know. But I think that's it for me, folks. I'm gonna get my stuff together, try to get this uploaded today so that you can watch it tomorrow. I did have some shop updates, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know that I'm gonna get things listed today, or maybe even tomorrow, to get them in the shop for Black Friday. So yeah, I'm hoping to do some Black Friday sales in the shop. I have to actually look at that here shortly to determine what I'm going to do, if anything. I'm not sure. I had planned on having a special code for you all, but I haven't set that up yet, so yeah. I might do a special December sale or something like that, just for y'all, once I get the new patterns and stuff that I have actually listed, so that they're all there. But yeah, so that's it for me, guys. I hope you're having a fantastic, well, I hope by the time you see this, I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving. I hope you were able to spend some time with your family, even if it was virtual, if you wanted to spend time with your family. I hope you had a nice quiet evening to yourself if you didn't want to spend time with your family. Regardless, I hope that you are safe and you are well and you're taking care of yourself and your loved ones. And remember, as I always say now, to make sure you drink some water, make sure you take some meds, and good enough is good enough. And I will see you all again next week, hopefully. Have a great one.